Hello there, my name is Faith Kaulu and welcome to Shivolution, a segment sponsored by the East African Women of Excellence Awards, an award by BH Media and Hope Media that seeks to honor women of impact in different categories. Now, today we're here because of Nyokabi Ngare, who has been nominated under the Legal Trailblazer category. Nyokabi runs the African Woman Global Network, and we're going to talk to her to find out more about what she does and why she was nominated under this category. Follow me. I am the founder of African Women Global Network. We are an access to justice organization. So basically we do, I actually like saying we're a human rights organization offering access to justice, and we are also more focused on restoring dignity. So what we mean by access to justice, we actually offer legal services to young mothers or women and girls in the marginalized communities. And our area of focus is early marriages and succession issues and a bit of GBV. When we started with GBV cases, but then they became too overwhelming, and so we started looking at other ways in which we can support people in at least the slums find justice. That's why now we decided to do early marriages and succession. But succession, our main area of focus is the rural areas. Then early marriages, we do it in the slums and part of the rural areas. Yeah, identified like maybe Kajiado and such areas. So we have interventions as an organization, because also, you see, when you get into a space knowing that this is exactly what I want to do. So I wanted to do legal because that's where my passion was. But then I realized I just can't give people legal services and leave them. So now we started looking for other interventions that we could do, and that was now education for the young girls and economic empowerment for women in the rural areas. And also we try as much as possible to build leaders in the communities. So we do a bit of leadership for the girls. So we have a cohort for young girls. And in this cohort, as I said, we identify young mothers. So these young mothers, we train them after if they need their cases to be handled, we handle their cases, and then we put them in a program because they need to be put in a healing journey. So during that healing journey, we do a 1-year training where now we incorporate everything. There's legal, there's mental, there's life skills. So there's a lot of that, because also when you come into the slums, you realize that the challenges here are really not about food, and there's food everywhere. I mean, they can afford to buy themselves a mandazi here, mandazi there, but now there's the life skills bit of it, where now you need to teach them how to be them. You need to walk the path with them. You need to expose them to other things in other places. So those are now things that now we started doing as part of our training. Then now with that, after the training, now we take them through school, because they most of them really want to go back to school, but when you listen to their challenges, they have challenges that now cap them from going back to school, or whatever situation they got themselves into and why they got pregnant is due to a certain challenge at home. So but now when we take them up and take them back to school, we give them an option. Do you want to go to high school or do you want to go for TVET? Most of them want to go for TVET because they really feel there's still that stigma of a young mother going back to high school, so they don't want that. So they go for TVET trainings. So now when we get women who need legal services with regards to succession, and then they're able at least to have their land, we take them through a training of economic empowerment, where now we teach them how to utilize their properties or utilize their land and how to earn from it. Because a lot of times, especially in our country, you know that land in our country is male dominated. It's the men who decide what they're going to do with the land. So in the event maybe they're deceased, or rather they're widowed, they're able now to take care or to decide on what they're going to do with that property that is going to be beneficial to them. And then now on leadership, I believe in leadership, and I love seeing women who have thrived to become leaders. And I believe leadership is everywhere, but it always starts with you. So I love training girls to be leaders. I love training them to take up problems and give solutions to them. So that's how we do our trainings with regards to leadership. The cases that we take up If there are too many, I use my classmates or my friends who are in the legal profession, who now take the cases and at least help us in managing the backlog. Yeah. Although a lot of times you'll find that we have ways, like now, given that we've been in this field for 5 years, so there's a way we have learned how to look at cases that really need to be taken to court. So there are times when you will not really need to go to court. But if a case is really dire and it really needs to go to court, we will look for someone, or we look for advocates who now take the cases and go to court. Yeah. Because they are there, and and cases can be overwhelming, especially if you're dealing with anything to do with human rights. The cases can really, they can depress you. So, and you see, for us, given that it's an organization that doesn't have a lot of, in fact, when we started, we didn't have a lot of structures, so we didn't even know how to debrief, So you've just come in and you're taking up cases you've taken cases on GBV or sexual abuse. They're very emotional. You listen to a case and you really don't know what to do. You have no idea what you're going. And you see, for us, and especially lawyers who are into human rights, if you don't have a solution to a problem, it becomes your problem. Then now you take it you take it up like it's really your problem and you need to give it a solution. So what that does, it affects you. It affects your mental health. So at the time, we really didn't know how to debrief, and it took a toll on us. So I had to take a break from it. I met someone who was a project officer, and he's the one who was showing me the loops in Kibera. But then I realized I am not really cut out for Kibera, at least not now. So let me find ways, because I felt that I could not give them anything new, because they already had so many organizations that were supporting them. So I needed to go elsewhere. I went to Mathare. I remember I walked the journey in Mathare with another program officer from another organization, and at the time I was more like a mentor. So, and I was just offering legal services. So any training that needed, if they needed any legal trainer, I'd be there to support. But then, as I was supporting those guys, I realized I needed to do more by myself, and that's why for me, I just decided, let me just do it in Kibera, in Mukuru, because also we came to Mukuru I'm in the Rotary Club. So when we visited Mukuru for the first time with our club, and we realized that this place had so many young mothers, I was like, but these are the people I've been supporting. These are the people that I've been trying to, at the time I was in Kajiado, I've been trying to support in Kajiado. Why am I going all the way? And yet these are people who are really close to me. Yeah. So, and then also there's a time I remember I was in court some time back. I think I was doing my attachment, and there were so many children who were coming, crying, and I don't know, the way something just takes you back. And you're like, why are we not giving these people solutions? We're all in court just arguing cases, but people out here really need more. We can argue the cases fine, but what solutions are we giving to these people? So I really needed to give them a solution. Yeah, for me, education was the only thing I could give, because I couldn't come and just give them food. Where I grew up, there was a community or a slum, and people used to come to school complaining about how their parents are being battered. Like there were so many of those cases in our school, and it really used to hurt me, because I remember with this one girl. I was in class 5 at the time, and I was dealing with a girl who didn't want to go home, because she kept saying that I don't want to go home because there's a lot going on at home. And I remember taking her to my mom and telling her, Mom, her name was Margaret, I'll never forget. I told her, Mom, this girl is complaining because they're not eating, they're sleeping outside because their dad comes home drunk, etc, etc. So I remember my mom was she is till now. She's very passionate, and she's a caregiver. I don't know how to, but she has a very good heart. So she kept telling, I remember she bought her food and told her, I'm going to buy you stuff to take home. Give this to your mom. I remember that's when I started thinking about how I want to do my law. I want to become a lawyer. back in the day, I wanted to, no, before that, I wanted to be a banker. But then I changed and I wanted to be a lawyer because I also realized I'm giving my life to these people now, so why can't I just do it? Anyway, so that was me as a child. And then now when I joined law school, and then when I was doing my attachment at Milimani Courts, that's when I realized I didn't want to make money from conveyancing. Yeah. No, I wanted to make money I wanted to help people with this information that I had, but then I didn't know how to do it. So at Kenya School of Law, when I was there, and I remember we were all looking for pupillage, and we couldn't find pupillage. I asked myself, why can't I find pupillage? Why can't I just create pupillage for myself? So why don't I just start something and I'll go and tell? But now the problem was that you had to sign. There's the logbook that you have to sign. So in that whole process, I realized I can't sign for myself because who are you? Yeah. But now that's how the idea came. So even when I went to look for attachment at FIDA, I didn't get. For pupillage at FIDA, I didn't get. Then I went to an organization called CRU, I also didn't get. Then that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to be working with this project officer. That's how I started in Kibera. Yeah. Then I saw the challenges there and I told him, but I can help you guys. I don't even need, I'm not admitted, so I can't go to court anyway, but I can offer my service in terms of advising people. If I was to talk about something that has really discouraged me from what I do, it is such things where someone has called you in the middle of the night and they're telling you they've been beaten, or they're telling you or maybe even, of course, sometimes it's the neighbors who call to tell you that someone is being beaten. And then you try and sort them out, or you try. In our country, one of the biggest problems we have is shelter. So you can't really just send them to a shelter. So you only have to tell the neighbor, just stay with her, alafu tutakuja kumwangalia. Now, during that process, so you've gone through all that. Because remember, all these people don't understand that you're also emotionally involved. Yeah. Because this is a case and this is a human right. This is someone's life you're dealing with. So for someone to just decide, I am going back, I mean, who are you? Me, I'm the victim. And you tell them, but you have already made me a victim myself because you brought the case to me. Then now you can't just decide to go. Also, if this case, we are invested at the end of the day, both emotionally and financially. So and also time-wise. So you just can't come and tell us that now you've decided to go back. Tuliongea na wazazi, na sasa tumerudi. Unajua niliona, first, maybe that there's one case. This one I sometimes I feel sad, but it's also very entertaining because this is a woman who had 3 kids from different men, but her husband didn't know that. So the husband knew that all these kids are his. So one of the fights they had was about that, and that's why she was being beaten. Because I don't know, the husband told her that he wanted to do a DNA because he's had rumors that those kids are not his. So when the lady was beaten, she said, you know what, because I don't want this guy to find out about my situation, let me just stick around and then we'll see. So she sticks around. But the funny thing is, she gets pregnant again by another guy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? So how am I supposed to help you in this situation? So sometimes you get certain cases that they really don't make sense and you don't know how to help the person, because also at the end of the day, it's a personal decision. So I can only do so much. You see, for the young girls, it's easier, and that's why we take them through the training, because we don't want them to get to that point again, where now you're coming now with other 5 kids and you still don't have you're not financially stable. So because then it means that you're growing another generation of the same caliber. We don't have funding. So when you have so many cases and you can't, you see also people have already gotten to know you. But like now, for example, you'll find success. You've gone to the rural areas, you've done a legal aid. From that legal aid, you've gotten about 40 cases or 100 cases. Actually, those ones are normally many. Their land cases are usually very many. But then you look at the cases and you're like, oh my God, I can't handle all these cases. So what do I do? So during such times, you really feel like giving up. You really feel like telling yourself, I'm not able to help all of you. I'm only one person. And my team, we can only do, how many can we do, So during such times, you feel so bad because you're not able to. And giving up, yes, comes to mind. It comes to play. Also, moving from a legal profession to an NGO for me was very overwhelming, because I tell guys I didn't even know what capacity building is. As in, I know legal terms. So when you start telling me about capacity building, yes. I look at you. I remember I attended a conference once, and I was like, "Wait, you're not a legal mind. Don't lie to yourself." When I look at the girls, there's nothing that gives me so much joy when you've taken them to, like now I remember there was a girls summit last year, and one of our girls was given she was on the panel. She sat on the panel and she gives such amazing insights. And then she was actually given the opportunity to present the communique to our leaders. You know, when you meet them the first time, they're so vulnerable. They feel like they're not good enough. They forget about themselves. So even conversing with them, they will look at you like you're a god, you know. But then now, once they're done with the program, they're like, kumbe, you're just a normal person. You know. So the conversation becomes easier. So they can stand in front of people and express themselves. They can stand in front of people and address, you know, given the fact that you can address someone, for me, it warms my heart.
There's a time, kuna session yenye ilikuwa inaendelea hapa Viko. That's where I get to know the African Women Global Network. Na nilishukuru God sana cause unajua hapa tuko na CBOs kidogo, so kupata organization yenye una get in, alafu unajua pia organizations zinakuanga na opportunities mob. So in life nilikuwa natamani, like I've been longing for so many opportunities, like maybe meeting the prominent people. Like back last year tulikuwa na Girl Summit and nilikuwa so proud, like nilikuwa how do I say it, nilikuwa overwhelmed, like nilipata hiyo opportunity ya represent the Youth Communique 2023, of which hapo nilionanga brighter future for my son.
Through African Women Global, nimeenda certificate in diploma in Advent College. Now I'm studying there, but weeks kama 20 shule, I do make my money. Like last week kulikuwa na exam shule, nika earn 600, nashuka 2 lines, 400 shilling. Now I'm happy, I'm proud of African women. Even I can't even, nothing I can pay them. I'm just happy.
The fact that they all want to go to school, they all want a better life. They stand in front of you and they tell you, you know what, I am going to be your chef. The next, you know, I have a life. I am seeing a bigger future. I'm seeing that gives me so much joy. Yeah. I feel like, you know what, I would want to quit, but just to see that smile on your face, imagine I'm going to go to do it. Today we had a conversation with one of the girls, and she was telling us how she wants to be a mechanic. And she asked me, do you think it will be? I told her, I won't even have to wait for someone to come and offer you scholarship. I will do it myself. Because truly, honestly, this is a girl who's willing to go against the odds, to be somebody. So such things make me happy. They give me so much joy. And also looking at our mothers, like, you know, when you meet old women who are going through issues of land and family issues because of land, and then you go to them and you become a solution. Truly, I don't think there's something that gives me so much satisfaction like that. An old woman just telling you, you know what, you've actually helped me and I thank you for what you've done for me. It's a plus. Yeah. So having that, making that impact for me, the impact in itself is 100% something that I think I would do it any day, every day. I pray a lot and I feel like God has really been, she's been my anchor and has really protected me. I can be the other day we were at the bridge, the river at Ruben, and we were there with a couple of other guys, and we were just looking at how that river is, you know, the way it looks bad, it's terrible. To even call it Nairobi River should be very embarrassing, you know. And then we saw these young men. You know, that you just see one coming, another one moving, and then you see, this one has been a constant. You're like, hapa kuna kitu. So, but at the end of, and then now someone came and just told us, let's go. You know, that for me is God. God just sent this person and told him, ebu ichukua watu mwende now. You know, so I feel like God always protects his people, and he protects us a lot, and we are only able to do this because of him. Yeah, it's not so many people who would be very comfortable to come to not many people are comfortable going to the informal settlements. And because I can walk, I feel comfortable, because even when I walk in these places, I always feel like I am protected. Even if I am, the way you just wake up in the morning and you're like, today God, I'm going to Mukuru, protect me. As I'm walking, you just say, I am okay, I'm blessed, I'm all those things. For me, it's just been a blessing.
They're going to unlearn, or rather relearn new things that they have to do in life. Their mental spaces, their emotional spaces, so we take them through life skills, the normal SDG goals and what they are and what they mean. We also take them through entrepreneurship, because some of the girls are also, some that usually are out of school, they prefer to start small businesses by the side just to take care of their children or their young ones. And also we do entrepreneurship, menstrual hygiene, because also we notice that is another gap. Girls go begging for pads, and they go having sex for pads, and at the end of the day, you don't come with pads, but we come with a pregnancy. So it doesn't even make sense at the end of the day. We also take them through how to identify themselves. Yeah, life skills training, and also just to ensure that they understand themselves.
I don't think justice is there for everybody. Yeah, I don't think people experience the justice that they deserve. We might not want to believe it, but it's very shrewd. It works. For the people it works, but for the people it doesn't, it really doesn't. And I know that there's a lot that needs to be done. I know that I might not be able to mention all the gaps now, but they're there, and someone really needs to address them. And if we don't do it now, I am afraid for our future. I have 3 girls. So for me, the girl child especially means a lot to me. So if we are not able to protect our justice system now, then I don't know what you're going to do in the future.
From this program, I've also had an impact on myself, because apart from seeing the girls grow, I was also lucky to get a scholarship from AMID, that is to do my advanced masters in international development from Roodbound University in Netherlands. So I'm a current student, and we are still learning. We are learning about the global challenges, and also how the global south and the global north can come in and partner effectively and efficiently to make a better Africa tomorrow. Yeah, so how did they know me? How was I chosen? It's because my girls stood out during the Girls Summit. So that's why I was able to join this cohort.
Yes, I'm so happy. I think that was the most exciting part of my work, being nominated. You see, there's that, when you get to a point where someone somewhere recognizes what you're doing, honestly, even as much as it's not something that you are really looking forward to, or maybe it's something you're anticipating, it's a very good feeling. It's an amazing feeling. So I won't pretend and say that, oh my God, yeah. Oh, I didn't want. No, I am very happy for that recognition, and I really, really appreciate it. It means that I am doing an exceptional work. It means that I am doing something that is creating an impact. It may not be where I want it to be, but at least the fact that there's someone who's recognized it, it means that someone has appreciated my work, someone has appreciated something that I am doing. It also means that, it also means being someone patting me on the back and telling me, you know what, keep doing what you're doing, keep going, yeah, that's what it means. So everyone watching, I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I really, really request from the bottom of my heart for all of you to vote for me, because it will not only grow me, but it will also grow the organization, and it will build visibility, and also it it will bring in more people who can support the organization, and that will create a very huge impact for us, and it will create a very, it will be a huge, it will create a better, it will mean a lot also to the girls or to the people that we support on the ground, women and girls especially, because those are the people who really, really need us. So thank you very much.
All right, that's it for today right here at Shivolution, a segment sponsored by the East African Women of Excellence Awards. You've heard it from Nyokabi Ngare about the great work she's doing and the impact it has. To vote for the many amazing women that have been nominated for these awards under the different categories that are there, visit www.womenofexcellence.co and vote for your favorite nominee. My name is Faith Kaulu. Till next time, goodbye.